not so
Mix and
keen on the
match.
thing. Oh, I prefer the tilde.
You want to buy the just what it goes with.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to buy the tilde to make the tote, you'll have plenty in that to make this as well. The same with this. So you'll have, if you buy one of these, you'd have plenty to make the applique bag as well. There's versatility is amazing.
I think for me, this would look lovely to have the bags. And also, we've got an apron coming up. This would work beautifely with the apron fabric too.
Yeah, it would, gorgeous. I may have to make one now
well,
to go in my kitchen with my lovely cushions.
Ah, there we go. Now, Susan messaged in. She says, finally, a lovely sewing show. She's returned to sewing after 25 years off. Wow.
That's a good break, but well done for coming back.
Do you know what? We're here to help you, because it's one of those things, when you come back after a break like that, I came back to sewing after a lengthy gap, and it's just getting that confidence back, isn't it? And having ideas.
Everything with sewing, particularly with the sewing machine. I think it's a lot of people, when we used to do classes, just sitting down at a sewing machine is quite intimidating because they're quite, there's a lot of buttons and knobs and things going on here. You've got to work out how to rethread it, haven't you? Yeah, absolutely. And it's, sometimes you feel like they're running away with you, and so we want to get people back into using the sewing machines. And projects like this are absolutely perfect. So we've got ruffle edge to the outside edge. Yes, raw edges to raw edges. Because what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich this in between, and then when we turn it through, we want the ruffle to be, sandwiched in between those two fabrics. So putting it facing into the fabric is what we want. Have we got to pin this now? Yeah, I'm going to show two different options. Okay. I'm not sure if we've got both of them. We have both of them in stock. The glass-headed quilters pins, and then also these gorgeous clips. Okay. So personally, I'm going to pin first, and then I'm going to put my second layer on, and then I'm going to clip when I sew. Yes, I'm going to actually use both. I'm going to steal a Wonder clip. These are fabulous little gadgets. If you haven't seen these before, then we've got these in packs. And then where they come in pack. Oh, here we go. I've got a pack down here. This is what you're getting. So you get 10 Wonder clips. We've got them in varying sizes. These ones here. I love the colours of these, because you're never going to lose them, are you? Bright yellow. Well, that's the thing. With pins, you can end up leaving one in by accident, and you don't want that. But these are £7.95 for 10 of these clips. They go a long way. VKGQ56. Now, at the moment, you're pinning, but when you come to clip these in, it's for multiple layers of fabric, isn't it? Or if you just can't be bothered to pin like me. Yeah. Sometimes things are awkward when you're doing lots of layers. Of something, particularly when you're quilting, that's where they first. I mean, I use these for everything now. Yes. But they originally came in for quilting, where you've got layers of wadding and fabric and binding. And you can't get a pin through all of that, and it's going to distort. So these are a great alternative. I've been known to actually pin my hair back with them. It's in the way. Pin it back. Very versatile. So we're pinning around these. Yeah, I'm just going to pin the ruffle onto this layer, and then I'm going to tack it all the way around, so that we know that we don't have to worry about the ruffle when we're sewing the cushion together. Are we hand tacking? I'm going to tack on the machine tacking. So would you keep that basting stitch that we did? Yeah, that long stitch that you did for the ruffling. Keep it at that long length. Yes. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. It means that you can take it out afterwards if you want to. Hopefully, we're going to hide it all with our final layer of stitching. But it does mean that if it does show, it is easier to get out. So that's why we like doing the tacking stitch. Now, I'm just going to highlight how you're pinning here, because if we have a look along here, you'll see these sticking out. It's a bit like a fondue pot, isn't it, with the little sticks sticking out the top. I don't know why I'm still thinking about food. It feels like it's lunchtime. But how come you've got them sticking out at that sort of angle? Why? So if I was to pin going the other way with this situation, let me just pop it in there. I'm going to struggle. You see, I've created a bump there. Yes. It's going to be annoying when I get to the sewing machine. It's going to be too bumpy. So when you sew along, also you're going to hit I'm going to hit the pin. I mean, some people like to pin so they can pull it out before, but this way it means that if you do not get to the pin in time when you're sewing, you're going to jump over the pin rather than damaging your machine because you're sewing on a pin. Okay, all right. So that's the other reason I like to pin this way is, excellent, because it means it's now, of course, we're working with this beautiful red John Loudon fabric. You'll see this is from the Amalfi collection. That's why it's got Amalfi on the screen. But it's out of the John Loudon company, who
this is third generation. This is lovely, isn't it?
This
is a company that has been so successful. It's been handed down generation to generation.
Gorgeous,
a British company, giving you that lovely tradition and great quality fabrics. This is just going to be such a lovely project for you. So we've got the different colour options. We've got navy, we've got pink, we've got beige, we've got blue, and we've got red. How could I forget the red? I'm looking straight at it. They are all coming across the screen, so just have a look or just call the customer number. So 0800 112 4433. Now, another thing, if obviously we're new today, so excuse us for repeating this, but you know, you might be dipping in and out. But if you are buying today or any day with us, it's only £2.95 P&P per day. Even for a sewing machine, something bulky like that, you will only pay £2.95 for your postage. It's that. It's fixed. That's that. Now, you might have seen the Tilda fabric earlier and gone, goodness me, must have that, and checked out your basket and thought, but I want this, but I don't want to have to pay another postage. You won't. You absolutely won't. At the end of the day, it's all calculated, and just one P&P is applied by midnight, and that's how it happens. Yeah. So we're pinning all the way around.
Yeah,
that's the first one.
The ruffles were a bit tight around here, so when we were doing these, I didn't tie off all the ends entirely so that I can move it out, because obviously if it's too small or too big, you're going to need to either add a couple more or pull it out a little bit so you've got a better spacing. But you should be able to do that because, again, you've done this double row, so it's not all going to immediately unravel as soon as you undo that knot at the end. So
the double row is the key for a perfect ruffle.
Yeah, and it just makes everything so much easier. It's going to, you know, see how flat that's laying now. Yeah. If you'd done a single row, that would be all over the show. It would be, you know, flapping all over the place.
Top tip. Top tip, a Sammy Claridge top tip.
Yeah.
Now, is it time to clip?
No.
Or do we sew this in
No,
first?
I'm going to sew this quickly first.
I'm excited about the clips, actually. Mary's messaged in. Hello, Mary. Happy launch day, she says. How wonderful to have a sewing channel. She says she's very happy about that. Well, we all are. We all are, to finally be up and running. It's been tantalising, hasn't it? You know, we've been seeing all these designs coming through. We haven't wanted to spill the beans as to what's coming up. So it's been. I'm rubbish at keeping a secret, so it's been.
They had to make me sign something because I knew I wouldn't be able to keep it a secret otherwise.
No. Oh, hang on. Janet says. Oh, okay, so Janet has messaged in and we're just looking into your questions. So if you've got any kind of questions, then do email in and you can do that on straight into the studio, sewingquarter.com. If you have another sort of question that's about buying and things like that, then 0800 112 4433, that free phone number is your number to call there. That's a UK-based call centre and it's free of charge for you to use. You can either go through one just to buy or two for our help team who have all been trained up and they're happy to help.
They're lovely.
They are, aren't they? Now we've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, it's all good. Plenty of time.
So we're doing a long stitch here. This is what's really important here, isn't it? Is that long basting stitch?
Yes, just to hold everything in place, and again, so that you don't have to worry about, you know, when you're doing something that is a lot of layers, you've got, you know, your base layer and your ruffle and thing, and you've got two flimsy layers over quite a thick, kind of unmanageable layer. The more tacking you can do, the better, because it means that you're... Yeah, it takes a little bit more time, but not that much more time.
Okay.
To get that done, so that it means that when you finish your project, you're not going, oh, I wish I'd just taken the time to do that. I wish I'd done that. I wish
they say prior and preparation prevents poor performance.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Very true in sewing.
And it's taking time, especially if you're gifting this. If this is going to be your Valentine's gift to a loved one, then what better way? In fact, you know, we've got all sorts of toy shows and things coming up, so you might be able to make the toy that would then hold this.
Make the little teddy to give it. Yeah, that would be so cute. And then you can use the cushion afterwards as well.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, so we're working today with a beautiful John Loudon collection here. It's the Amalfi collection. We're making a heart cushion out of it, but it is so versatile. This was just what you decided to do.
Yeah.
So Sammy was sent the fabric. Here we go, 5 different colour options here for you. You were sent the John Loudon fabric, and then you were told, what would you make with this? Yeah. So what inspired you?
Well, I was thinking about Valentine's Day, and I was thinking about Mother's Day, and I was thinking about, you know, things that we could show a good technique for people for the first, you know, this is the first show. So we want to get techniques and things that are transferable skills we're talking about. We want to get that across. So I wanted something that had a skill that wasn't too overwhelming. Zips and things, I think, That's probably, we're going to come on to those later.
But for
I'm
now,
scared
of zips.
Yeah. For now, I wanted to give you something a bit more than just a square cushion that showed off the fabrics. This shows off the fabrics beautifully. I think the ruffle on this just it gives something extra to the fabric.
I think because you've got the contrasting colours with this John and Adam fabric, and it's just a pleasure to work with. Where the colours all match, they all go together. Classic colours here, classic designs. This isn't just a flash in the pan that's going to be out of fashion.
No.
This is something that you can keep. Maybe you're decorating a spare room with it. Maybe this is going in your kitchen. Maybe you're going to make...
This would be such a lovely present for newlyweds, don't you think? New home,
yes.
Mr. and Mrs. You could do, if you're into applique, you could do some applique Mr. and Mrs. on the front.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely adorable.
Hey, do you know what, actually? Coming up in the next hour, we're going to show you how to applique, machine applique.
Yeah. You can do she's going to do it in the next hour on this, and then make them personalised.
So join us with Lucy in the next hour. We'll be doing that. But this is what I love about today is you've got interchangeable skills. We're making an apron next hour, but there's no reason that you couldn't add now a ruffle onto your apron.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of it, isn't it? You learn the techniques, you get the fabric that you know it's going to work with because our designers have chosen these to go specifically with the fabrics. In this case, the John Loudon Amalfi collection. And off you go. Happy days.
That's the thing I'm looking forward to most about the whole channel as a whole is the teaching people that it doesn't have to be complicated. Things don't have to be difficult. But you get such amazing results, and if you learn something once, you can then use it again and again and again and again, and like you're saying, transferable skills and all that kind of stuff. It's just that's what I love the most about sewing. And I'm looking forward to telling everyone else that that's what I love about it too.
Pauline from Staffordshire is expecting her first grandchild.
Perfect.
Will we be showing any baby quilts? Yes, we will. Your pillowcase dress that we're going to do at some point. That would be perfect.
That's coming
for
up at the end of the month, I think.
That's at the end of the month. Hang on, when's it due? When does that doesn't matter because it's got adjustable straps.
Yes, and
we've got
any age.
so many things coming up for quilting, for babies, for home, for everything, for Mother's Day, for Valentine's Day. We've got it all covered. Now, clips.
Yes. Just
Wonder
trying to find the
clips.
one that fits. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
Because we cut them differently, didn't we, today? But
There we go.
There we go. This one will do. Okay, so now we can clip. Do you want to clip?
Okay,
You clip one side,
Let me
I'll clip the other side.
Go on then.
So this is what I like about the clips. We could use pins here, but I like using clips at this stage. Oh yes, that would help, wouldn't it?
How often should I be
go a
clipping?
bit further. I'm quite. I don't mind. I like to have them quite well spaced because obviously the more you put on, the more you have to take off. So
Let's be practical about this, ladies and gents.
but obviously as many as makes you feel comfortable.
Do I need to leave a gap to get that cushion in?
Yes, we're going to double clip that in a moment. In fact, I might just put a pin in so we know where we're going to stop. I'm going to move one of your clips.
Okay.
Up a smidge.
Move it
And down a
around.
smidge.
So this is the reason that we didn't restuff that initial that cushion pad
Yes.
initially. It's like I don't know if you've ever made a beanbag
Yes.
and made the mistake of trying to put a bag of beans into a beanbag.
Yes.
It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. It's a matter of make your lining first. So the same applies with this. Make your cushion pad first, stuff the cushion pad in, then stuff the pad.
Yeah.
So why are we putting pins in
So
as
I'm just
well?
going to pop a pin in. This is more for my personal, so I know where to stop.
Ah.
So I know where I'm going to start, I know where I'm going to stop. I'm going to check it with my empty cushion pad that my opening is approximately the same place and the same size, which it is. Look at that.
I wouldn't have thought of that. That's clever.
So we've got, that's going to be our hole,
Yeah.
and then that's going to be the hole in that one too.
Okay, which means that you
That's
can
fine.
then stuff it.
Yes.
This is the joy, isn't it, of having pros. You know, they think of those little things. I'd have done that in a different place and then been really...
The reason I do it on the side as well, as opposed to up here or in the middle, is that it's on the straightest edge.
Oh, so that's easy.
So that when you're, because obviously we're going to hand sew it closed, and we don't want to be fiddling about in here. We want to have a nice straight line to do.
it.
So.
I can't wait to see this. So if you want, of course, the cushion pad as well. We've got the Wonder Clips up on the screen for you. The Wonder Clips we're seeing are very useful, and certainly with this amount of fabric that we've got here. We've got that base, then we've got the ruffle, then we've got the top layer here. So we've got a good sandwich of material here that needs a good clipping, and that's exactly what these Wonder Clips are for. 10 of these for $7.95, one off postage of $2.95. fill your baskets as much as you like throughout the day. You will only be charged £2.95 p&p. VKG, and it's gone. Yeah, it's all right. We'll get something up in the screen in a minute. Something different. What else have we got? Do you know what? We've got 3 minutes left.
All right.
Yeah. So
I'll put my foot down.
Yeah, there we go. Speeding up here. So literally the foot down there. We're looking at today the John Loudon Amalfi collection here. So it's kind of a cross between your full-on cotton and linen. It's somewhere in the middle because it's got a slight texture to it, as you can see. But it's got that lovely linen kind of colour to it, which just works so beautifully. We've got this is down on the website as being blue. I think of it as kind of a teal, but we're going with a blue. But do you know what? Just give us a call, 0800 112 4433, because we've got the blue. We've also got the navy. We've got beige. We've got pink, and we've got red. But the way to absolutely get through, make sure that your order is exactly as you wish. 0800 112 4433. If you're buying one of our John Loudon Fat Quarter Packs, you will of course be eligible for one of our free sewing quarter sewing kits, which is our little gift from us to you for buying with us today. So HCJQ65 is the red fabric which we've seen here. So here they are. These are the 5 different colours. Aren't they gorgeous? So we've got this is your navy, blue, beige, pink and red. Oh, Charlie says, really loving the show. Thank you very much, Charlie. Lovely to hear from you. Great to have sewing on the TV.
Yeah.
And we are your dedicated sewing channel. So every day between 8 and 12, you will be here. Can we turn this inside out? Because we've got
I'm just going to do one quick snip across the bottom to get rid of the bulk of any fabric that's in the way there. These fabrics, because they're doing lots of things at the same time. And then we're going to, I've already done it on this, we're going to snip into the top there so that when we turn it through, it's not going to make any problems.
So less than a minute here for our big reveal. And of course, then you would stuff your pad, put all the padding back in that you took out of your cushion. I can't wait to see these ruffles. Yeah, it's something so satisfying, isn't there, when you know that you've made this, you've created this. And the ultimate test is when someone says, that's absolutely lovely, where did you buy it from? And you go, no, I made it. So here we go. This is your cushion pad ready for stuffing with that pad that you made. So all handmade, all homemade. Once you've managed to do this ruffle, then of course you can pop it onto anything. That's your red. This is what it's going to look like once it's stuffed, and then you can just hand sew up the side and you're done. Sammy, thank you so much. When are you next back?
Thanks for having me. Friday, I think.
We will see you then. We will see you in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll see you in a bit. Thank you very much. Here at the Sewing Quarter, we sell fabric in all sorts of different sizes. Some will be pre-cut, but others will be specifically cut to your order. The most common measurement you'll hear us talk about here at the Sewing Quarter is your fat quarter. So the fat quarter is 22 inches across and 20 inches there. Now that's 55 centimetres by 50 centimetres, approximately there. Now fat quarters will often be sold in bundles for you, and they come looking beautiful, all lovely and folded, and it's great for storage because it doesn't look as though you've got as much fabric as you're actually getting. Lots of people prefer fat quarters to long quarters because you can cut larger pieces from your fat quarter. So this is a long quarter, and your long quarter is cut across the bolt, so it's edge to edge crossways. That is your salvage edge to edge. So we're looking at 110 centimetres across. For those of you that like your inches, that's 44 inches, and it's 25 centimetres deep. So that's what, 10 inches. So if you're looking at cutting your 2.5 inch strips, that's absolutely perfect. You'll get 4 of those out of a long quarter. So you can clearly see the difference between a fat quarter and the long quarter. So this is your ½ metre. So the ½ metre is salvage to salvage, so that's 110 centimetres or 44 inches, and then it's your ½ metre in width there. So that's going to be 50 centimetres or your 20 inches there. Now this is double a fat quarter, so if you have a fat quarter, it's going to be half this, and it would just be cut down the middle there, and that would give you 2 fat quarters. It's getting bigger now. We're on to your metre. Here we go. So this is your metre of fabric. So again, edge to edge, crossways, That is your salvage, so that's 110 centimetres or 44 inches. And then this length here, that's your metre or 40 inches. But of course, here at the Sewing Quarter, we can cut your fabric to any length you want, from 1/4 of a metre upwards. So, you know, as much as you want. Ha ha! Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com. Good morning, welcome back to the Sewing Quarter. We've done it, we're live, and it's still January, so we are into our last live hour this morning. Gosh, I can't believe it, how fast has this morning gone? So this morning we started off at 8 o'clock with myself and John, our other presenter here at the Sewing Quarter. You've got me this hour, Natasha McCarthy. So far this morning we've made tote bags, we've made a heart-shaped cushion, and now we're making this rather fetching little number, which is a gorgeous pinny. So we're going to teach you today about machine applique. A lot of you on Facebook saying to me, we want to learn how to applique. It's just one of those skills we just haven't quite got a handle on. We've got that sorted for you today. In the first hour of making today, we made a beautiful Tilda bag, and that had some applique on as well. So if you're making that, then you're going to be able to use this transferable skill. That's what we're all about here at the Sewing Quarter, is giving you all of these different skills that you can use on all your different projects. So we've got this beautiful pinny for you today. We've got 3 different fabrics for you. Now, this is the gorgeous thing. We've got here the clock fabric, we've got a plain one, and we've got one with kitchen utensils on. And of course, I have a lovely guest. So come and meet my guest. She's just over here. Hello, my lovely.
Hello.
It's Lucy Brennan back again.
Mwah. Mwah.
So we didn't scare you off. You came out for another
No,
hour.
no, I was watching the
Yay.
ruffles though. I enjoyed those ruffles.
Well,
That
wouldn't
was
this
fun.
pinny look nice with a ruffle on as well?
It would. You could put a ruffle along the bottom of that. Very
I think
nice.
so
Yeah.
now, here's the thing. We're doing something a little bit different here at the Sewing Quarter, which is selling you fabric by the half-metre length. So we're talking salvage to salvage length off the bolt, but then you decide how long you want that to be. So salvage to salvage width, sorry, and then your length. So by the half-metre. So the price on your screen is for, this is your clocks that I'm wearing here. This is your clocks fabric. For a half-metre, £4.95. That's what we're making today, that gorgeous pinny. £4.95 per half-metre. We're doing it by the half-metre for a good reason, because you might look at this and go, great, I want to make a pinny, but actually I want matching cushions in my kitchen, or I want this for this project or that project. You decide how much you want. You know the projects that you want to do. You know what you're going to be using this fabric for. We can give you ideas, we can give you suggestions, but you know what you're actually going to make. So for a half-metre, £4.95. Your code for that, VGMY14. Now, if you want a metre, in the quantity box you put 2, because it's 2 lots of half-metre. If you want 3 metres, you put 6 in the quantity, because it's 6 lots of half metres. It's by the half metre. If you're confused, then call our free phone number 0800 112 4433, and that will be cut in one continuous length, and our team will be there to help you and guide you through it. What are we doing, Lucy Brennan?
We're going to make this apron. If you, it's a fully lined apron with a lined pocket on the
Good
front.
long straps.
And the
isn't it?
straps. I love having long straps on an apron. So if you wanted to make this, you'll need 3 half-metres.
3 half-metres, so 1.5 metres.
1.5 metres to
3 half,
to
so
make this.
3 in the quantity box.
And you will have a bit left over, so you
Nice.
can always use the rest to do a bit more applique on something else if you wanted to.
Nice. This
Yeah.
is just one of the fabric options. This is your kitchen. This is your clocks fabric, so that's £4.95. Let's have a look at your utensils. Let's have a look at these. Oh, I love this one. You know, the Great British Bake Off, things like that. They've really set us alight with a real desire for all things kitchen, and this is a perfect one, I think, for someone that isn't too girly. So my husband loves to cook pizza. He's obsessed with cooking pizzas. He does them from scratch, makes his own sauce, makes his own dough. He does the whole
I'm coming
shebang.
round to yours.
No, do, it's brilliant. But this would be perfect for him. He makes an awful mess. he knows.
Yeah.
And I then have to try and get it out of his clothes. But this is perfect. Absolutely perfect for him. So £4.95, I would need 3 lots of half metre, so 1.5 metres of fabric. So EGMY62 for that tencels, but maybe you just want plain.
Yes.
That's fine too. Or maybe you want to have an accent pocket.
Yeah, and use the print as an accent and the plain as the
Then
main
we've got
part.
a plain red for you, which works beautifully with both of those as well. So we'll get those up. Here we go. That's what it looks like. Lovely. Actually, that red really works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice bright red. It does work on both of them. It really does stand out on the
This
one
is a
with the
different
spoons.
price. Look at this, £3.25 per half a metre. But again, available per half metre. So you've used that red to do an applique. Beautiful.
To do some applique. So on that one I did bake, and on this one I'm doing a name. So
Do
I'm
we know who
doing
Joan is?
Joan. Joan is my nan, and Joan is also one of my daughters. So who's named after my nan. Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. Yeah. Okay, so hello, Joan. Both Joans. Senior, junior Joan, hello. How do we do this?
Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, you need to decide what word you want to have.
Yes.
And then you just go to your computer, type it out, and you want to reverse it.
Okay.
So it needs to be a mirror
Okay.
of the word.
Okay.
You can handwrite it out if you prefer to do that,
Could you
but you
not
want
just-
something that's got block letters.
What if
Obviously, you don't just want a line.
Printed it off and just turned it around the other way.
You can turn it around, if you can do it from the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it against a window, trace it out that way. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. So long as it's backwards, because you're going to use some of the interfacing,
Okay.
and you lay this over the top and trace it.
Okay, I only asked that because I wouldn't actually know how to mirror stuff. IT support is my husband in
Yeah.
my house.
There's a button for rotate, I think,
Okay.
and you do it that way.
So this is the interfacing. What sort of interfacing do we need with this?
So that's the interfacing. It's just an iron-on interfacing. For this one, I've used a double-sided one just because it's quick and
Okay.
easy to use. But you can use a single-sided as well, and then you need to pin the letters
Okay.
on.
So it's nice and easy to use, and actually nice and see-through, so you can see through it. What do we then need to do?
So you trace it onto the interfacing, and you just roughly cut that out. You don't cut out the letters, you just cut out the whole word.
Oh, right, okay.
And then once you've done that, you iron it onto the back of the fabric.
Right, okay, so this is our clock fabric, and you can just see there it is. Clock fabric, beautiful, half a metre there, £4.95, but look, there it is. There's Joan, back to front.
So I've just pressed the interfacing onto the back of the fabric.
And that's what secures it. It's got tiny, tiny little glue dots, hasn't
Yes.
it? Do you have any tips about how to iron that on?
You need to follow the manufacturer's instructions that would come with the interfacing. Different brands have different times that you need to press it and things.
Do you do it? So do you put the fabric on the top and then iron there so that you don't gunk up
I
your
iron it that way,
Oh,
and you
do
can just
you?
use a pressing cloth
Okay.
if you want to. For some interfacing, you need to dampen that cloth and then press it. But like I said, have a look at the instructions for
Okay.
the particular one you're using.
This fabric, of course, available by the half metre, absolutely lovely. VGMY14. So that's actually the other item that we've got for you. So details for the utensils is down on the bottom there, both £4.95 per half metre. And of course, when you buy these, they will be, and say you've bought 1.5 metres, which is what you need for this project, for this pinny, then that's absolutely fine. Just put 3 in the quantity, or call our free phone number 0800 112 4433 and tell them that you want 1.5 metres. If you want more, then absolutely order more. That's absolutely fine. It will be cut in one continuous length, not like lots of half metre bits. So what are we doing now?
So once you've got your letters on there, then you can cut them out.
Okay.
So the reason that you've done it backwards, mirrored it,
Yes.
when you've traced it on, is because obviously, like the A and the O were okay; they can go
Yeah.
either way. But the J, once you get it to the right side, if we'd
Ah.
done it, it would be the wrong way round. And I have done that.
That's
Yeah.
the joy, isn't it, of mistakes are made sometimes. Now, you used our gold-plated embroidery scissors for that. The thing with these is that you've got a snippy little bit in the middle of that O, haven't you?
Yes.
So it's important to have some little scissors to work with. Now these are gold plated. I love this design. We have no idea what sort of bird it is. We've had numerous conversation about what sort of bird it is. I just know that it's fabulous.
It's a heron.
Oh, were you the heron?
It's a heron.
You were. It is.
It's
definitely
traditional. It's a traditional.
Oh, really?
They traditionally use herons for embroidery scissors.
John
yes.
wanted it to be a flamingo to match his shirt.
Which would be lovely.
We agreed on duck.
You could.
There were no arguments.
We could spray them pink for him and call it a
we could
flamingo.
have done. We'll do that later.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the box. I'm going to leave you to use those, and I'm going to show you because we've got our own range of things. You don't let me hold you up on snipping.
Well, I'll show just to get that centre part out. If you fold it in half and then make a cut with the scissors, then you've got a little hole there that you can get your scissors in.
Your little
because
pointy
otherwise
heron beak in.
it's just a bit tricky, and you can't do it with bigger scissors. You need a small set to do that.
Do you know, I'm going to show you the packaging for this because this is our new range. I love the colours. Teal's one of my favourite colours. So we've got our own range. This is part of our core range, and look at that, gold embroidery scissors here. They're really handy to use. You've got that precision. They're hard wearing as well, and like you say, traditional.
Yes.
This is the thing. This is what I think of when I think of embroidery scissors.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a heron. I'll be honest. I just thought pretty bird. That was as far as I got. No ornithologist, me. Pretty bird, that'll do.
Right. You can call it what you like.
£9.95. What a lovely gift.
Yes, yeah. And they're so handy. I use my embroidery scissors for everything, just snipping off loose threads and all kinds of things. Any sort of detailed work, you really want the embroidery scissors for that.
LVTW63 gets you these. Awesome. So we've cut those out.
So you've cut them out. So once you've got your letters, you just need to get those attached to one of the pocket pieces. I'll just say about the cuts for the apron. So the pocket pieces is 6.5
inches.
Sorry, it's 18 by 6.5 inches.
So this is the thing. Our pinny has a pocket. It's a pocketed pinny.
So you need two of those cuts, 18 by 6.5.
By 6.5
because it's a lined pocket.
Oh, it's a proper, I mean, nothing's skimped here. This is a proper full-on pinny here. Yeah. It's going to look really, really lovely. Now, you see, I would be also tempted to do the actual pocket in that red and then the applique on there, so that actually, if I've gone to the trouble of putting on a pocket, maybe not the first one in case I do it a bit wonky, but like the second one, really make a thing of the pocket. You're the designer at home. We're just giving you tips on how to do these things. So if you've, oh, let's have a look at what we're actually making. Let's have a look. So that's what it's looking like. Nice. And it's got a pocket. It's kind of a hidden pocket on that, isn't it?
It is, and it has different sections in as well. So I'm going to show you how to separate the pocket into different sections.
Nice. This fabric is from Akawa, another UK-based company, and it's £4.95 per half a metre, available by the half metre. So what are we doing now?
So I'm just going to set up the machine to do zigzag stitch. When you've cut out your letters, press them on here. If you've not got the double-sided interfacing, you just can use some pins to hold them in place.
So that depends what you've got. You know, we'll be having that come onto the website. Every day we get new deliveries. We're going to have new things added to our website. So always check in and have a look, because all these things are on their way. So then what do we do?
So then you need to stitch it down, because just as it is, it's not secure enough. Okay. So there are lots of different stitches that you can do
this is going to be hard wearing, isn't it? So
what it is going to be really hard wearing. So I'm just going to go for a zigzag. It's really straightforward, easy to do. You can do a very, very close one and have it like a satin stitch, which is quite traditional for things like this. But so just the zigzag will hold it in place.
The satin stitch it almost creates a ridge, doesn't it, around? But what we're going to do here is a zigzag stitch. Let's see this. And I think the nice thing about Lucy choosing, I'm losing my words now. Fourth hour, that's it. The
I know, that's it, yeah.
Is the fact that all machines do a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. You know, that's what they do. I mean, we looked, when we had Jane in from Elna, she showed us one of the iconic Elna machines, the Lotus, which is actually in museums now. It's such an amazing machine. And that just does 2 stitch. It does straight and it does zigzag. My grandmother's old machine, which is over 50 years old, does 2 stitches. It does a straight stitch and a zigzag. So no matter what level of sewing you're at, no matter how fancy your machine, you've got a zigzag, you've got a straight stitch, you can do this project. The seams and everything are going to be done with a straight stitch, and the applique is going to be done with a zigzag. Now, of course, obviously, the machine live on TV, this happens, the thread goes. So we're just rethreading. That's a natty little threading device there, isn't it?
It is. It's really, really handy. So I'm going to do the zigzag.
Now, if you have...
Oh, that's gone way too big. I'll just need to readjust the length.
The length. Here we go. So, whilst Lucy worked, this is. Do you know what? I take my hat off to all of our designers here, because every machine is a little bit different, and they've had to learn all these different machines and what does what. And as soon as they're turned off and on, you know, you often lose that width.
I should have been looking at that. So I've changed my stitch length to 1.5 and my width to 1.5 as well.
All right.
So that will make the smaller zigzag rather than the larger one that I just did.
But do you know what? I'm pleased kind of that you did that, because it just goes to show, doesn't it, that we all do those. And that's why on the website we have things like stitch rippers and stitch unpickers, because it doesn't matter what level of sewing you're at some point you're gonna need one.
Need it.
That's the big truth in sewing, isn't it? At some point you'll need to undo some stitches.
So that little zigzag there, I'm just lining up the edge of the fabric with the side of the needle, and then when I want to turn, I keep the needle down, lift the foot, and just turn it round
and
like that.
Spin it around. That's really neat. If you've got a machine that has a varying speed, this might be something that you want to keep the speed sort of slower on.
You can do. And if you have the needle down function as well, that comes in really handy, because then when you stop, the needle stops in the needle down position.
So it stops your stitch from skipping, doesn't it?
And then you can just lift the foot and pivot round when you get to the end.
So, you know, make the machine work for you. You know, use that needle as a pivot point. This is coming together really nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, applique is really fun to do. You just need to get used to the stitches, have a play with the lengths and the widths on your machine. Find what you like, what works for you. And you can use some of the decorative stitches as well.
Lovely.
If you didn't want to do a zigzag.
Yeah.
You know, depending on your machine, you will have 2 or 3 at the very least different kinds of stitches, and changing the width and the length makes a difference to the overall look as well.
Now the machine that we're using at the moment is the 540EX Elna machine. You've got so many different decorative stitches on these, so you've got a huge variety if you wanted to really make a statement. I mean, then you might want to change the colour of your thread. I mean, because we're doing a zigzag here, it blends beautifully. You've got exactly the right colour thread there. Look on the website as well for threads if you're after a multitude of different colours. We've got those there for you. So very, very versatile, and this machine, of course, just doing everything. It's going to handle any fabric you throw at it, this machine. You can customise your stitches, you can do all sorts of things. In fact, Elna says it adapts to every mood and every style.
That's wonderful. I like the idea of using a contrast thread as well. I think that's really fun, you know, depending on what you...
Do you know, this is another one that for the first time, I would use a thread that is that's the same, so that it doesn't do
to hide it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just in case you do what I did there, and so I'm just going to unpick that. And then when I get round there, I'm just going to do a little forwards and backwards just to secure that stitch. Just to hold that in place. Now this machine is your 540EX. It's simple to use, it's intuitive to use, but it's speedy actually. It's got the adjustable speed control. So if you're doing something tricky like this, you know, that's, I say tricky, it's technical, isn't it? And you need to turn and things. And just while you're getting used to where you're coming to stop, that's the thing that I think I found the hardest. Where do you stop? So you can turn it, you can use the...
You've always got the hand crank.
Yeah, the hand crank on the side. just to go backwards and forwards, and I still do that very often. That's in my nature,
Me
just
too.
to reach for that one.
So with the 540, of course, you've got the different speeds. You can do all of that. So you've got the adjustable foot pressure. You've got that needle threader. Of course, you see live on air, all these things like that happen. What I really like about this is the thread cutter, because that saves you so much thread every time otherwise, especially if you're patchworking or quilting or anything like that. You know, it's just there. It's just, there we go. There's your needle cutter. You've just seen it happen. Your thread cutter. It's just discreet on the side up there. Oh, I don't know if we can get that. There we go. Doesn't matter. But it just means that it's there. If you've misplaced your beautiful, did we decide if it was heron embroidery little snippers, then that's absolutely fine.
So that's the applique on that one finished. And this is a great for beginners making a pocket like this, because the back's going to be hidden as well. So you don't need to think about, is it a mess on the back?
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
It look like? It really doesn't matter.
Lovely. Excellent. So if you've just joined us, hello, we are the Sewing Quarter. We have finally launched. Here we are. Very excited to be here. This is our 4th live hour. Hooray! Yep. We've made cushions with tote bags, and now we're making a beautiful pocketed pinny. So, and it's lined. I love this. We're not holding back here. We're going for fully lined professional finishes on things.
Yeah, and because it's a usable item, you're going to use it. So it's no good having awkward seams or it just being flimsy. Yeah, by just doubling it up, it just gives it that extra strength.
We've got 3 different Makawa fabrics for you today. When you were sent these, what was the brief? Make whatever you want, or? Yes, I think so. Just come up with your own design for it. And I love putting words on things. I think it's quite fun, and it's really nice to be able to personalise something as well. So if you're giving it for a gift, and the clocks one, I used Time to Create, which I thought was just fun, because it doesn't have to be an apron for the kitchen. It could be if you're an artist or if you're a sewer and you end up with threads all over yourself like I do every day. It's quite handy to have a little pinny to wear. I've got a friend who says that when her pinny goes on, everybody knows she's working. That's especially if you're working from home. Sometimes people don't realise. Yeah. But you can see in here, well, can you just hold that in for me? This is your pocket. And there, so that's what we are.
And
oh, look.
So
nice.
You can put your pen in, or...
So however you want to do it. Ooh,
and a lot of makeup artists use aprons as well.
They do,
so when they're working, they would have an apron and they can put their brushes in
the little pockets. So that goes all the way there, and then you've got your little pen pockets there, or brush pockets there, and another brush. So you can customise this to exactly how you want to do it.
Absolutely.
That's what we're making if you've just joined us. Hello, we will be live 8 till 12 every day of the week.
So I'm just putting the 2 parts of the pocket together. So the fabrics are right sides together with the appliqued part and the other pocket piece, which is the lining of the pocket. Okay. So I'm going to put those together, and I'm going to sew all the way around, leaving a gap at the bottom. We're bagging out, aren't we? We're bagging out, yeah we are.
These are terms that you will hear us use time and time again. For us here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to inspire you, we want to educate you as well. Now, we of course, we don't want to teach grandmothers to suck eggs. There are some of you that are professional, you know exactly what you're doing, in which case, hello, it's lovely to have your company, and just join us for the laughs that we're going to have. But if you are new, then this terminology, it's what, especially when you read books and you see things like that, and it says to bag out, you might not know what that is.
And I think as well, in this kind of a craft, in all sewing, people do things in different ways. So there are always tips that you can learn from people. Yes. So whether somebody is a beginner, whether somebody's very advanced, you still can be learning and try different techniques and go, oh, well, I do it a different way, but maybe I'll try that and just see if that works for me. So a tip that I use very often is to put 2 pins in the place where I'm going to start and stop, because I'm going to go all the way around, but I need to remind myself, oh, you need to stop there to leave a gap.
Sammy did that earlier with her cushion, with her ruffles. She used the Wonder Clips,
right? Yeah.
But then put pins in for those as an extra kind of reminder that that's where she wants to stop.
See, I might start doing that. That's a great tip, and I love those Wonder Clips as well. So I'm not going to pin all the way around, because I'm comfortable not doing that. But if you're a beginner and you would prefer to put pins all the way, but just remember to leave that gap at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that.
Now if you want those Wonder Clips that we just mentioned, they are down down there for you. VKGQ56, $7.95. They are brilliant, I have to say. They're a bit of a revolutionary thing for me. But of course, this machine as well is available on the show. We do have Elna coming up later on in the week with Jane to explain all these things. But if you just can't wait till then, and you want a machine that is fully computerized, you can adjust your stitch length, your stitch width. You've got, well, you can see here all of those different stitches, so it's always there as a constant reminder. Then this is a great machine to have. It's £449. Your P&P, no matter how much you buy today, just £2.95. We do postage by the day, so it's £2.95 per day. Now the Elna machine here, STJE50 is your item number there. How many stitches does this have? 50 built-in stitches. So you know the one we were saying.
Fabulous ones, yeah.
Some nice embroidery stitches, and you've got your buttonholes in there as well. So you can do your quilting stitches. You can do all of your dressmaking. You can do patchwork, all your fancy stitching. It's all there for you to do. So this is an all-round machine. So if maybe you don't know what it is that you're going to go into, that's absolutely fine. You know, absolutely fine. Or if you've got any questions about the machine, give us a call. We will happily answer those for you.
And I'm just using the edge of the foot as a guide for this.
Which foot is that?
This is just the normal foot that comes with your machine. Sometimes it's called a zigzag foot because it has that space in so that you can do the zigzag. But it's just the standard foot that you
How long have you been sewing?
About 5.5 years.
How did you
But
get started?
quilting was really, more recently it was really quilting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that got me into it. I have a couple of quilters in my family. My auntie.
Hello, Auntie.
Hello,
She's
Auntie
not called
Barbara
Jonas.
in
Oh,
York.
no, Auntie Barbara.
No, she's
There
in
we go.
York.
Hello, Auntie Barbara.
And my cousin Jackie, who lives in America.
Big into quilting in America.
Huge,
Massive.
huge.
Yeah.
And so between the two of them, they
got you
completely
hooked.
inspired me and got me hooked.
Yeah, there we go. Now, a stitch back and forth there just to hold it. You don't want it unravelling, so it's always good to do. Do you call it holding stitch or what do you call it?
I just say back stitch, just a little back
Oh,
stitch,
okay.
yeah. So I'm going to take the pins out of here.
We've got all sorts of pins for you as well. You know, do check out that website or just call the number 0800 112 4433. It is a free phone number and it is a UK-based call centre. Our call centre staff have been trained to help. So, you know, they've got a bit of sewing knowledge there because we've trained them. But if there's something that they can't answer for you, they promise to get back, find out the answer and get back to you within 2 days.
So I'm just trimming off the corners on each corner.
Now you're using the bigger
just
scissors
cutting that
here.
at an angle. I use the bigger scissors just because that's what I'm more comfortable with.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
why not?
Yeah,
We've
I
got
mean, you
those on
can
the
use
show
the smaller
too.
ones, but when you're going through a couple of layers of fabric, it's a bit trickier with the. So
It's,
the bigger, it's handier to have the bigger scissors.
Horses for courses, isn't it? I think your little gold embroidery threads, they are great for your snips,
Yes.
for your threads, things like that. They're $9.95 today, and they're gold plated, a beautiful gift. And then if you want to go for your dressmaking scissors, if you cannot cut from there all the way through to the very, very edge of your scissors in one continuous cut and have that cut your fabric fully, then it's time to get a new pair of scissors. And they're $21.95. These are your right-handed tailor's shears. Tailor's shears often a little bit longer. There's 20 centimetres there. So $21.95. Invest in a good pair. Buy the best you can afford.
And I have two pairs. One for when my other pair runs out, because there's nothing worse than a dull pair of scissors or a dull rotary cutter on fabric. It's
Look
awful.
after
So
them.
I always have spares.
Just cut
in
fabric
case.
as well.
Yeah.
So we've done the pocket. We're about to bag out.
So I'm going to bag out, which just means turn this through, turning this pocket through.
Hey, and we're at the halfway point. Where does this hour go?
So it just flies by. So I use my little large, it's not very little, knitting needle just to help poke out those corners.
And just get
so
that.
they come out nice and neat because we've trimmed off that little triangle
Perfect.
piece.
So something there. So thank you for joining us. If you've just joined us, we are brand new. We are the Sewing Quarter and we have only just launched today. Woohoo! With me today is the very talented Lucy Brennan. We've had the joy of you for 2 hours today.
I know, it's been lovely.
And I hear you might be back tomorrow.
I am back tomorrow.
Yay! No might about it. She's
am.
going to be back. What are you bringing us tomorrow?
I can't remember. No, I know what I'm doing. A quilt, which I'm very excited about, and some really pretty plant pot covers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They're lovely.
Would you like me to iron that?
That would be great. So I just do my little trick of just rolling.
Oh, yeah, tell us your little trick.
Yeah, just rolling the edges so that they're nice and neat. So that when you come to press it, it's not got a big fold or, you know, a tuck.
This is a good trick, I think.
So just using your fingers, just give it a little roll. Because if you just press it with the iron, it's not as neat looking, and you end up not having a straight line because your fabric isn't straight anymore. So.
Now, if you've just joined us and you're absolutely loving this fabric, it's from Macawa, another UK-based company. We've got 3 options for you. They work really well together. So this is your clock that we've seen here. So the clock, I think if you're making a pinny that, you know, isn't just for the kitchen, maybe it's for being creative, then this is going to work an absolute treat. VGMY 14. Now, you'll see here that it is £4.95 for a ½ metre. But I need 1.5 metres for this. That's fine. Just put 3 in your quantity box. If you're on the website ordering, or if you phone up, just say, I want 1.5 metres. We will cut it to that length. Yes, you heard right. Here at the Sewing Quarter, we will cut your fabric to how much you want by the ½ metre. If you want 6 metres, no problem. And it all comes beautifully packaged and in tissue paper. It's gorgeous. It's going to be such a treat when you get it home. I'm going to iron this because you're looking at me like, come on, do some work. Stop talking and get ironing. So this is your utensils fabric there. So we've had the clocks. This is your utensils. Again, £4.95 per ½ metre. Here, you know, we've scoured all over the place, well, all over the world really, to find you all sorts of different fabrics. Today we've brought you 2 UK companies and of course the iconic Tilda fabrics. So do take a look at those on the website. This is Macawa. Now, you'll notice behind it is that beautiful red fabric. I love this as a contrast. You know what? I think I would be tempted to do the back of my lining of my pocket in that red. Maybe even the back of it as that. Or maybe do a ruffle if you learned how to do the ruffles on the earlier show with Sammy. Why not?
Or the ties as well when we come to do the ties.
Nice.
Those would look nice in a plain colour as well. But you could also pick out, there's 2 different blues in here and a sort of greeny brown and a brown colour. So you could pick out any of those would coordinate.
Now
really
the
nicely.
red that goes so beautifully is down on the bottom of the screen, just down here for you. It's £3.25. It's less expensive because you don't have that patterning on there. It's just a lovely, it's a friendly red.
It's a great description as well, isn't it? The name, pillar box red.
Yes,
I think that's lovely.
Exactly what it is. And just brilliant. So £3.25, it's down there on the bottom of the screen. Give us a call if you want to order that. 0800 112 4433. That number is free, let me tell you, absolutely free. What's next?
So I've cut out the 2 main panels, which are the main part of the apron.
Sizes
so this
for
is
these.
the lining and the front. So this is 24 inches by 17 inches.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to make that wider, you know, you can, if you grab a tape measure, if 24 is not going to fit, you'll just need to add a bit more. And the 1.5 metres is slightly generous, so you will, in 1.5 metres, you will be able to get it slightly wider.
I like to have a little bit left over to go in my stash.
I know it's always good.
In fact, I'll be honest, I always buy an extra ½ metre just because I never know what else I'm going to want to do to match or do whatever. So we've got
absolutely.
2, we've got lining and we've got the front. What do we do?
So we're going to just finish off the pocket very quickly. I'm just going to top stitch along the top now that that's been nicely pressed. But we've got that gap in the bottom. So I'm going to top stitch along the top and then we're going to attach on there. So I'll just quickly top stitch on here.
Now, when you did the top stitch earlier, we said, you know, things like, especially like this machine, you've got 50 different stitches with here, but the first 2 stitches are your straight stitches. The first one is literally straight down the middle, but you've put it on number 2 because that aligns to the left.
Yeah, so I can just switch between, you can see the needle just moving there. So 1 is the needle central, and on this machine, 2 puts the needle over to the left.
Can we do that one more time?
Yeah.
Our director says he's got a good shot that he can give us. There we go.
Okay.
There!
So that's it in the
nice.
centre. And then that's just moved it over just ever so slightly to the left. But what it means is when you come to sew, if you line up the edge of the fabric with the centre of the foot, then you're going to have a line that just runs slightly to the left. So you've got a nice top stitch on
is
there.
a great tip for top stitching, and I'm going to certainly be adopting this because my top stitch tends to go a bit all over the place, and I now realise it's because I wasn't lining it up, and because I wanted the top stitch to be really close to the edge, I couldn't work out a way to do that because my foot, like you said earlier, is actually metal, so I couldn't see through.
You can't see through it.
So if you align the edge of your fabric to the centre part and then change the needle to the side, which of course you can do with this Elna machine, then that's absolutely perfect. So your Elna is the 540EX sewing. It's a sewing machine. It's got the latest technology. It's got everything that you need there to get yourself going. Fab little machine. I think we've all enjoyed playing with these.
Yeah, so I'm just going to grab those little scissors. Hiding from me.
In fact, we all had a little bit of training. That was when we met a lot of our guests. Jane from Elna came in. She brought a smorgasbord of different machines and let us loose. Because, of course, our floor managers, lovely Jay and Amy, they'd never threaded a machine before. It was a complete baptism of fire for them. They had to learn how to do all of the machines. So, and that's, you know, we are a brand new channel. So if you've just joined us, hello, we're new. We're loving being live. We're loving, thank you so much for all of your comments as well. It's absolutely lovely to hear from you. Oh, hello.
Hello. So I'm going to attach the pocket to the front of the apron. So you can just sort of guesstimate, if you like, or if you'd prefer, you can use the ruler to make sure that that's going to be in the centre then. See, so my guesstimation wasn't fabulous. And then that looks better. So I'll just position it there. You don't want it too close to the bottom, because obviously you're going to have a seam there, and it's a bit awkward. But then you don't want to position it too high up because that's not as useful.
You're doing really long wraparounds, aren't you? So
ties,
that's the word. Yeah. So actually they would then wrap back round the front to tie. So you don't want the pocket getting in the way there. You want to be able to tie it around the front.
Yeah, and then because I've cut this with a rotary cutter and ruler, I know that that's a straight line, so I can use that to just make sure that that's straight with the bottom.
I'm going to have to get to grips with the rotary cutter, aren't I, to get these straight cuts.
Yeah, rotary cutter and the ruler.
Yeah,
because you need the ruler when you're using.
Actually, just a little note on this. Please don't try using a rotary cutter just with a normal ruler because you might slip. No. You need to have proper dressmaking acrylics or quilting acrylics. This was a quilting ruler. We're going to have so many of these for you to choose from. So bear with us. We'll get those on the website.
And the ruler has a straight edge.
And it's
along
a little
here.
Bit higher,
it's straight.
Isn't it?
And very often, like a plastic ruler or something, it's at an angle and it makes it very easy to just slip with the rotary cutter, and we don't want anybody to hurt
Top
themselves.
tips. Health and safety top tips here at the Sewing Quarter. Welcome if you've just joined us. Hello, we are dedicated to sewing, patchwork and quilting, dressmaking, all things sewing. And we're here for you 8 till 12 every day. So
I've just pinned that on,
yep.
And I'm going to use that top stitch technique again, moving the needle, and just go along the 3 edges. So then what's nice about that, we've got the detail at the top. It looks like we've sort of sewn all the way around. So,
and also just makes it stand out a little bit using that contrasting thread.
Yes, and when I do the secure back stitching, I'm going to just go over the top ever so slightly, and that will just help reinforce that seam, because obviously with the pockets, they're going to be getting use. So you just want to reinforce, so just
over the edge
on this side, and then when I go around on this side, I'm just going to go ever so slightly over the top.
Okay, lovely, because that's the top of your pocket. It's almost like a secret pocket.
It is, yeah, because it blends in. But like you said, you could do that in the red, and then you know, put letters, and you don't have to do letters. You could do a spoon or a cake or whatever you like.
That's the great. Those cakes left?
There are a few cakes, yes. That you can really do whatever you like with a plique. Anything you can cut out, any sort of shape that you can cut out.
You can do.
You know, you can put on there.
Let's get sewing.
Yes.
So the top stitching again, using that centre point on the foot. Get my words right. As your guide, and then of course, if you have a machine like the Elna or you know, the like where you can do a straight stitch but a line to the left, perfect for these this kind of sewing, which is great. So you went backwards and forwards over the edge just to secure.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having a pocket that flops out.
No,
because it's ripped.
Absolutely.
Well, many, many years ago when I used to work as a waitress, that was always the point that would go on our pennies. Because, of course, we had our little pads for taking the orders. And it'd be really hard work. It'd always go back in your penny pocket. It'd always be the place to go. So they should have reinforced them. Lucy, you should have told them.
Well, and now you know how to fix a pocket.
Yay!
Should you need to, you
There
can
we
just
go.
reinforce it at the top.
Actually, do you know what? That's a good point. If you're spending more than £10 a day with us on your first order, you will get your own little pocket sewing kit, so that if you do have such an issue, you can fix it straight away. So that's what you're getting. That's our little gift from us to you to say hello. All you need to do is spend £10 with us as your first off order, and there it is for you, which is really rather lovely. So we're on the third side now. Of course, don't sew round all four sides. Actually, not got a pocket. You've just got a patch.
A patch. Yeah.
You know what
That's a different kind of thing,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Although I'm told,
Not so useful in the kitchen just to have a patch.
That patchwork, patches on clothing is coming in. That's going to be the next thing, apparently.
I have seen it in quite a few fashion
really?
magazines. Yes, I have. I'm not sure myself. I'd rather just do it on a quilt, I think. But
Well, you know, you would be the queen
tune
of
in a couple of
patching.
weeks. I might have some sort of a patchwork top. I'll be eating my words, won't I? So I'm just using the scissors again just to trim off those loose threads, and then again on the
£9.95
back.
for your gold-plated heron embroidery scissors there. It's that little beak. Love it. Why a
It's
heron?
adorable. I actually don't know. I don't know. I should have done some research.
No,
but
do
I
you know what? That's going to be our
don't
research.
know. Yeah.
We're going to get producer Paul on the
Someone
job.
can look it up and
tell
call
us.
in and tell us. Yeah, tell us on Facebook or something.
Yeah, actually, no, if you know, of course. We've
Yeah,
got, we've
tell us,
got,
please
we've got
do.
everyone
I'd
at
love
home
to
that
know.
might know, a wealth
Yeah.
of audience, a wealth of knowledge at home. If you do know why it's a heron, let us know. How long have we got left? 10 minutes? 20 minutes? That's all right.
So I'm going to make a section of on the pocket. So like with the time to create one, I did a few.
Yes.
I'm just for today just going to do one, but I'm using the air erasable fabric pen.
I love these.
Yeah, they're fabulous. They're really, really good. And I'm going to use the square ruler as well. And I'm just going to use either the edge of the fabric or the lines that I've sewn to line that up.
Okay, now to order, let's use that free phone number 0800 112 4433 is the best way to get in touch with us today. So we have trained staff. Well, we train them in the ways of sewing. You know that. Trained in the ways of sewing, so they can answer all of your questions. So if you want an erasable pen, if you want the chalks that we had on earlier, whatever your preference for marking out your fabric, then we've got those on the website for you. So best way, go and talk to our advisors there, 0800 112 4433. It will not cost you a penny to call them.
So the air erasable is nice and visible, and obviously I'm going to stitch over it anyway,
Okay.
but that ink will just disappear over time.
It's magic.
And it normally lasts a day, 2 days, some of them, so it just depends, and it depends how warm it is as well. On a very hot day,
Yeah.
I've drawn lines on, and then it's just disappeared quicker than I've been able to sew something.
I've got one that goes
so
within sort of 5 minutes.
Yeah, so you
which
want
is
to
nice.
do-
It focuses the mind.
yes, so you want to do it and then
Let's do it.
sew.
Let's
yeah.
do it.
So in the same way that I did with the edges of the pocket, I'm going to reinforce the top
Okay.
because that's going to have
It's
some
that-
pull on it as well.
It's that
Yeah.
point of wear, isn't it?
And I'm
that's
going to put my needle to the centre because I'm just going down that
Oh,
line.
yeah, good remember.
Yes, thank you.
I'd have been doing it to the side, but I'm not sure it would
Yeah,
have mattered.
I've done it. It wouldn't, so long as you're following the line, but it makes it easier having that central point on the
Yeah.
foot to either
Guide.
line up your fabric or line up a line that you're sewing on with that central point.
Now, if you've fallen in love with our Macowa fabrics, then you're not alone. So many of you going for this. A lovely utility apron is what we're making here with your kitchen utensils. Very big, you know, Great British Bake Off and things like that, meaning that actually it's cool to bake. And so we should have these aprons to go with it, you know, and not just for us ladies, the gents. What a great present, a little gift, maybe a little Valentine's gift. No hint there that actually you should be making my dinner. Here's a penny. Actually, my husband's very good. He loves making pizzas. That's his favourite
Yeah,
thing.
I think I think it's really both of them are really gender neutral. So it would be great for making gifts.
This is the
for anybody.
utensils fabric. So buy the ½ meter, which means that if you want to get loads, maybe you're going, actually, this is the perfect cotton, and it is 100% cotton that I want to use to do my cushions for my kitchen. Well, perfect. It's absolutely perfect for that. This is a lovely 100% cotton. It's soft.
It's lovely. It's so nice to work with. It irons beautifully, which is a big test for me because ironing's not my favourite thing to do in the world. But it's a lovely quality. It's a lovely weight to it.
All of the fabrics are a similar weight, well, the same weight. But of course, I just want to say the beauty of it being such a soft fabric is that when I put it on, it doesn't bulk.
No.
And it's really lovely. And when I tie it, it's not going to come undone because it's like a starchy fabric.
Yeah.
It's absolutely lovely. So both £4.95 for the patterns per ½ meter. You're going to need three lots of that, so 1.5 meters. So just ring up the website, ring up the number 0800 112 4433 and just say, I want 1.5 meters, or maybe you want 3 meters. I don't know. What are you doing with it? Maybe message us and let us know what you're doing. Might keep this on.
It's good bow work there. That looks nice, that bow.
Thanks.
You did that
Thanks.
very well.
A good bow. Good bow work.
Good bow work. So we need 2 straps
Yes.
for the apron, one for either side. So you need to cut 2 lengths 4 inches by the width of the fabric. So from selvage to selvage,
Okay.
the full width at 4 inches.
So that's about 110 centimetres, isn't it, depending on...
Yeah, and that's what this ruler is fantastic, because when your fabric comes, it's folded in half, and this will cut
Perfect.
from selvage to selvage with the fabric folded in half. So
Lovely.
4-inch strips for your straps. And then I don't cut the selvages off when I'm making these fabric ties. I use that, because you know that's a straight line.
Yeah.
I use that just to fold it over.
Yeah, iron it.
So then that's hidden within the strap. So do that both ends, fold the end over, and then iron it in half.
Okay.
Open it out and iron both sides towards the centre, and then fold it in half, and that gives you the strap there.
Nice. It's a lovely width actually there. Loving this.
Yeah.
And I can feel that selvage in there. It just gives a nice end to the material. So then, once you've got that, what do we do? How do we sew
So
this?
then I've top stitched all the way around both the straps,
We
which
know how to
takes a
top stitch
while.
now.
So I've already done it, but it's quite meditative to just do
Yeah,
that
keep
long
feeding
length
it
of
through.
sewing. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I could just make straps all
So
day.
you've done those already. We've shown you on our Elna machine how to do that top stitching. It's exactly the same. And of course, because we've used our Elna 540 E something or another.
Just experience 540.
Oh, EX, there we go.
Yeah,
Then what it means is that you've got that needle position that you can move to the left. So you can do a straight stitch, align it to the left, and then get the perfect top stitch. Very clever, I like. What are you doing now?
So now I'm going to attach the ties to the front of the front panel of the apron, and I'm just going to make sure that that's an inch down from the top, and I'm lining up the edge of the tie, and then I'll repeat that on the other side for the other strap.
Now you had a great tip for us when we made this the other day in rehearsals, and you said to me, because this is we're then going to attach the lining.
And don't pin the same one.
Oh no. Well, that's another great tip. Yeah.
Make sure you've
That
got
would
the
be awkward,
second one.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. it would.
But to tuck the ends into the pocket,
Yes.
and then they don't get in the way.
Yeah. And that's really helpful because they're very easy to catch them when you're sewing around the edge. So I'm just going to baste those in place, and then I can get rid of the pins.
Okay, so basting, again, this machine powerful enough to go through these lengths of fabric, the different numbers of widths of material that we've got in here.
Yes, it is. It's quite a lot. So it will power through it quite easily, and just securing it top and bottom.
Now you're going
there.
backwards and forwards there. How are you going backwards and forwards?
There's just a little button there, reverse button.
Oh,
and
so,
so
and
that
so
will
as you
just
go
go-
along,
Yeah,
just press
you
that.
can just press that, and that will go backwards.
And that's a feature of this Elna 540 EX. So it's £449 if you'd like that. And again, postage only £2.95. Postage is done by the day. So you do that on both sides. It's lovely to see a machine.
Sides. And I'm sorry, I'm just doing it near the edge as well because I don't want to see this stitch.
Okay.
So I'm just doing it quite close to the edge, almost as if I'm top stitching.
It's kind of reinforcing it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it helps reinforce the ties because obviously you're going to be.
And because you've got to take those pins out as well.
Yes.
So there we go. It's got that built-in little cutter for your fabric, for your thread.
Going to snip off those threads there, and on the other side.
Do you do that as you go along?
I do.
Snip and tidy.
Had very lovely home ec teachers when I was in high school, and they always said to me, to the class, that we should tidy up as we go along. And it's really stayed in my mind. So if I'm in the kitchen cooking or if I'm sewing, I like to tidy up as I go along, and I like to just neaten things up as I'm going along, because it just makes it life easier ultimately. And then you don't at the end have a whole great big mess that you've got to tidy up.
Good.
So I like to just gather up these straps, like you said, and just tuck them into the pocket there. But you want to try and keep them flat.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't bulk it out when we cut, because we're going to pin that piece over the top. So we're going to bag this out just like we did the pocket.
Excellent. Now, if you've just joined us, hello, welcome. We are the Sewing Quarter. We are brand new. We are live. We have only just launched today. So if you've been flicking through and gone, oh, hang on, that wasn't there yesterday. No, we weren't. We weren't, because we are brand new today. Lucy Brennan is here today. This is, well, our very first Sewing Quarter guest, back for her second hour, and you're back again tomorrow as well, with lots more exciting things to make for us. We have been so thrilled by the response from you today. Absolutely thrilled. Thank you so much. Your support has meant so much to us, does mean so much to us. And thank you so much. Your messages, I'm going to read through all your messages later. Thank you so much for all of those. We've read some of them out. We haven't had a chance to read through all of them because, you know, we've gone through, so many of you had emailed in, but please do continue to get in touch with us on the website. It's lovely to hear from you. It means that we're not alone. And our channel is for you. That's why we're here. I mean, as much as we love to craft together and sew together, you know, actually it's lovely if we do it for you. And so projects that you want to hear. So do be in touch. Tell us what you love, what you want to make, and we'll try and fulfill that, you know, for you, because this is your sewing channel. This is for you every day, 8 till 12, to start off with.
Yeah, and if there's techniques as well, if there's, you know, if people want to learn about applique, if there's anything that any sort of technique that people want to know about, just let us know. And,
well, we can feed that back to you, because people like Sammy and Lucy, who we've met today, are designers. So when you design us, because we're going to be bringing you all sorts of different kits for everything from toys through to cushions to quilting, whether it be a cushion that we're going to quilt or through to a blanket, we're going to be bringing you all sorts of different kits. So in a minute we'll show you the website so you can get a look around there. Every day, please check the website every day, which is www.sewingquarter.com, because every day we'll be adding new stock. As and when it comes into the warehouse, we will add it up there. So we're going to have all sorts of things for you. And we're also working on, which we hope to get live very soon, is going to be a stitch encyclopedia. So for example, earlier you talked about a slip stitch and a ladder stitch. We will have a video encyclopedia, a video glossary, if you will, on the website so that you can see those. But this today is our Macawa fabric that we're working with. I love unisex fabric here, so whether it's yourself or your partner that's in the kitchen cooking, pop on the pinny and off you go. Absolutely fab. Or maybe you've done one for Joan today, your daughter.
Yes.
Then she can take this for her home ec.
Yes, absolutely.
She's
when
not going to lose
older,
it.
she's
How
still
old is
a
she?
little. No, well, she just turned 7 actually.
Oh,
she just turned 7.
Get 'em
so
cooking.
yeah, and that they are good. My son actually really enjoys cooking. He likes helping. So I've done my little trick again of using the 2 pins. So that's going to show me where I'm going to start and stop sewing, and I'm going to go all around, and I've just left a gap at the bottom. Back to the next 2 pins.
Perfect. Yeah. Whilst you do that, I'm going to ziz over here and have an actual look at this fabric, because, you know, we've got 3 different options for you here. Plus, the zucchini that we're making today. We've got this gorgeous clock fabric here, really lovely. Now you can buy this by the ½ meter, which means that if you're ordering on the website, then if you want a meter, you put 2 in the quantity because it's 2 lots of ½ meter, but it will be cut in a continuous length. If you want 3, that would be 1.5 meters. Okay, so if you wanted 3 meters, you'd put 6 in the quantity. It's per ½ meter. This is your clocks. This is all Macawa, absolutely lovely. We've also got, here we go, the utensils down here. So both of the patterned fabrics are £4.95 per ½ meter. You decide how much you want. Maybe you want all of your kitchen kitted out in the gorgeous fabric here. And then maybe you want to do contrasting back to your cushions or to your apron, whatever it is that you're making, in which case we've got this lovely red, which goes to both, which matches both of those fabrics perfectly. That's why we've chosen it, so that the hard work of matching fabrics and matching colours is done for you. You can just buy it and enjoy. Now, what I would suggest is if you're ordering for the first time, please do ring our free phone UK-based call centre 0800 112 4433. They are trained and ready to help you. It's not going to cost you a penny to ring. They are there and ready to help. Your option number 1 will take you through to buy, and option number 2 is the help staff. So if you've got any questions, then all of the help team there are qualified to help. And if you've got a question that bamboozles them, don't worry, they've got 2 days and they will get back to you with that answer within 2 days. Now, if you're spending £10 or more with us today, then you will get a free sewing quarter kit. Here it is, looking absolutely lovely. I want to get my hands on 2. Always greedy. One for the car and then one for my handbag. So I've always got it there.
Yeah,
Where
really
are you going to keep yours?
I think handbag. I think handbag.
Which is fine if you've only got one handbag.
True. I do that moving.
Oh,
thing.
do you?
Yeah, move everything from.
I have a lip gloss for every
one
bag.
to another. Yeah.
Anyway, we're here at the Sewing Quarter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody that has phoned in, placed an order, that's got in touch with us, that's wished us well. That's lovely. Thank you. And apologies for any slip-ups that we've had or anything technical. We are, absolutely, this is our first day, and we're having so much fun.
And we've just had another one because I've run out of bobbin thread.
No!
And we're so near the end.
So close!
Yeah, so near
close.
the end. But so you would just sew all the way around, and then just like we did with the pocket, you just turn it through that gap in the bottom.
So the finished item looks like this. Shall I come out here and give a little spin so you can see? Come on. This is what it's going to look like. Ba, 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 ba. I love it. It's so soft. And
I'll show you as well how you can see on Natasha's there that I've rounded the corners of the apron, which just gives a really pretty look as well, and just finishes it off just a little bit differently. So if you wanted to do that, the easiest way is to get a plate, and when the 2 panels are together, you just use your fabric pen and mark the curve of the plate, so you just line it up with the corners. I'm coming back to you. Let's say, and you'd do that with the pen, wouldn't you? And of course, what I discovered very quickly working here was that actually I needed new scissors because mine were blunt. If you need new scissors, then we've got it all on the website for you. But we've also got, the little ones. These are my favourite ones. Let me show you these very quickly here, because look, these are the little heron, gold-plated heron scissors. These are just your thread snips, aren't they? Embroidery gold-plated scissors. What a great gift, or just a little gift to yourself. $9.95, $2.95 P&P per day. You could buy everything. It is fabulous.
So you could buy all the fabric and the sewing machine. You're only going to pay $2.95 for your postage, which is fabulous. Lucy, thank you.
You're welcome. I've had so much fun.
Oh, I love the designs. I love the Macawa fabric. I love everything that we've done. You've shown us so well how to cut, how to work on these things. Always a little note is to work on something like this mat that we've got. So the cutting mat that we've got for you today is a lovely big size, and also stops you from wrecking your tabletops if you have to cut on the kitchen table or something like that.
And cutting lengths of fabrics like we did for the ties. To be able to get this and to do from selvage to selvage with the long ruler on the mat. We're waiting for the long ruler to come in. So again, as I say, keep checking that website, because it's going to be all the time. It's going to be
updated as and when we get new deliveries in, because we're getting new deliveries in every day. I just want to show you this cutting mat because I have a cutting mat at home. I'm going to be honest, I've got cutting mat envy here because this is a whopper. It's a real good big size here. So we're looking at 35 inches here, down here up by 23. What's that in centimetres, do we know? 90 by, oh, hang on, look at this. Hang on, we've got inches on one side and then you've got centimetres on the other. So whether you're imperial or metric, it's got it covered for you. Now, the joy of this is that it is self-healing, so when you cut, it heals together. So there we go. If you want a cutting mat today, treat yourself, $39.95, and again, just that 1 PMP. Lucy, our first guest ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First live 4 hours done. If you've missed us or you've just caught us and you want to watch again, then go to www.sewingquarter.com, where you will be able to watch us again. The shows will be repeated on there for you to see. But it just leaves me to say thank you. Thank you to you at home for watching. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everyone here, our guests, everybody backstage as well that makes all of this possible. Our buyers who are frantically scanning and buying everything. For our cameramen, our directors, our producers, our floor staff, everybody, thank you so much. Join us tomorrow. We will be here 8 till 12 live with lots more beautiful things to make. We will see you then. Bye-bye. Bye.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Well done. That was tough at the end.
We did it. We did it. Hey.
Well done. Stunning.
4 hours is.
Yeah.
You've done really, really well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant. Well done. Yeah. Cracking.
Great stuff.
Cracking. You
Is
did?
everyone happy?
Everyone happy.
Good.
We've got 50% more web traffic than Joy, mate. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty good going, isn't it?
Is that because it's new and exciting?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's had,
Yeah.
fab.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Has my dad bought that sewing machine yet?
Not yet, no, dang.
I have texted him. Buy that sewing machine.
Quality from day one, from the second one,
Yeah.
a minute
Brilliant,
one.
man.
Amazing.
Did someone say me a cupcake? Just
Kate, Kate.
Good morning! We're so excited.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter.
I know.
John, we've done it.
I
We're
know,
live.
I know. You wouldn't believe it. We've all been so excited about this launch. We've been so excited about getting here and so excited about bringing this fabulous new channel to you.
And we've done it. Here we are, 31st of January, and here we are at the Sewing Quarter. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You have got me, Natasha McCarthy, and the very lovely John Scott.
And who are we? What are we doing?
Well, very good question. We are, of course, the Sewing Quarter, your dedicated sewing channel. What are we going to be bringing, John?
So much fun to start with. That's what I'm here for. We've got sewing, we've got quilting, we've got patchwork, we've got so many different things. We are going to bring, but. We're a shopping channel, right? But we're a shopping channel with a difference.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
all about education. It's all about innovation. It's all about gorgeous fabric. Do you know what? Fabrics galore. Such beautiful, beautiful fabrics. Everything about sewing will be here, whether it's you're buying fabric or watching expert make things or even creating your own craft room for the first time.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Whether you are a beginner and this is the first time you've decided to pick up a needle, join us. Whether you are an expert, we have got things, or anywhere in between. We have got something for everyone. In fact, should we give a little rundown of what's coming up today?
Go on then.
So you've got us for the first hour. We're going to explain who we are, what we're about, and just give you a general hello. Then the next hour, we are making tote bags for you with beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous Tilda fabric. And then we're making cushions, but not cushions as you may normally know.
No, indeed not. But do you know, if you'd know want to know a little bit more about us, we've got a little film for you to watch. Have a look at this.
The Sewing Quarter is a new inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to help you with your levels of sewing. Whether you're a novice or you've been sewing for years and years, we want this to be a fabulous learning curve for all of you. Whether it's making a little gift or making yourself a fabulous outfit, we will be working with some of the UK's biggest designers. You have to join us for that.
Don't forget, our sister brands are some of the leading brands in the industry, with Love Patchwork and Quilting being rated top modern quilt title on the market. Today's Quilter has achieved market leadership in the traditional quilt sector. And finally, Simply Sewing was launched in February 2015 after noticing a gap in the market for beginners. Combined, we reach over 150,000 readers every month.
The joy of live television.
Yes, sorry if some of you didn't hear us. We'll start that again. Hello, welcome to the Sewing Quarter. We are your brand new destination channel when we have volume.
Exactly.
For all things sewing, patchworking, quilting. John, for anyone that's not met you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's John Scott.
Hello.
Hello. This is Natasha McCarthy as well, by the way. Now, let me just tell you first of all, if you couldn't hear us earlier, a Sewing Quarter, they're calling it a shopping channel, aren't they? But it's more than a shopping channel. It's a channel of innovation. It's a channel of fun. It's a channel of education. It's a channel of making. Whether you were saying whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or well established with the sewing, just watch because we have so much fun.
It's a community. I think that's
Exactly.
the big thing for us. It's a community, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear your views. We want to see your makes. I love seeing people's
Exactly. Now, if you're wondering why we were chosen to do this job, a lot of you will know me from This Morning as the fashion guru on there. But before that, if we go back, I trained as a pattern cutter, I trained as a dyer and printer and corseteer and all that sort of stuff for film and TV. And I worked my way through different theatres. And then I was taken up by Hollywood. So I then went to Hollywood and did 10 years of blockbuster movies, doing the costumes for them, obviously, not starring in them, you know. And then I kind of went to This Morning, and as you know, and then followed me through there. So I love being here because it's bringing back so many memories of my original career. But you learnt at the knee of your grandmother, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, my grandmother taught me. She was a seamstress. She just knew everything about it. You know, it was her passion. It was what she'd always done. So every Saturday we'd watch the Saturday matinee, bit of Fred and Ginger, and we'd sew.
Oh, you're that old?
They were repeats.
Oh, sorry.
And so we'd sew, we'd do all sorts of things together while my brother had his piano lesson. And then, you know, it went from there. And then when I was 4 and started school, I had a wonderful teacher who taught me to lace make, age 4. So it's one of those things, you know, you can do it at any age. And once you've got that passion and it's there for you, then it just goes from there. So creativity's always been there for me. And then when I fell pregnant, I recovered the entire house. Dogs.
Was that you nesting?
That's what everybody said. I think it's just because I was really bored.
Oh, okay.
But
no, nothing romantic like
no.
that.
Actually, it's a longer story than that. But for now, we'll say
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm sure we'll find out over the years.
But yeah, the dogs all had different dog beds for every season and everything else. But I've also worked in theatres, in wardrobe and things like that.
So how did you feel when you got that call saying, "Oh, Natasha, we'd love you to come and work on a